And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. Still in the loser's bracket, unfortunately, for both Shew as well as his opponent, Nathanais. I'll reintroduce both of these wonderful players. Down in the bottom right-hand corner in the red trunks is going to be Shew. And he'll be a red Protoss. And up in the top left-hand corner in the wonderful color of blue. Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite color. And a very good caster as well. Co-caster is Root Nathanais, and he will be our blue Terran. Now, just for the perspective, Shew took a very, I wouldn't say decisive victory, but certainly did get a good win in game number 1 here in the loser's bracket. And so, at the end of the day, we are in losers round 2. Whoever loses this, if Nathanais loses this match, he will be out of this tournament. However, if Shew loses this match, there will still be a third match. It's the best 2 out of 3 in this series. And everything looking very standard here as it sits right this moment. And ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you, arguably one of the best casters I've had the pleasure of working with. His name is Joj. Joj, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
Awesome. I love giving you good intros because you are a really good caster. I've enjoyed working with you during MLG Spring Championship. This is our first experience working together, and I cannot say that it has been a negative one. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's been an absolute joy to work with you, and I'm looking forward to working with you again, hopefully after this tournament. But we do have a lot of games left to go. I think we're only like what? I think we're only still finishing off round 2 in the winners bracket, or round 3 in the winners, and then we're still round 2 in the losers bracket as it sits right now.
Yeah, I want to say that sounds pretty close to right. We're about a quarter of the way through the day, if that puts it in perspective at all. And then Sunday we're not casting because that's Championship Sunday. All those games will be streamed on the, I believe, on the main MLG SE2 screen.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, Sunday is going to be all on the main. Now, guys and girls, if you are watching the main, you're probably going, I wonder what's going on. And you'll see that there's a 1080p option now. Normally you can't watch that. You can purchase a subscription, and with that, you can get for $9.99 a 1080p feed directly to your computer. Watch StarCraft in the format in which it is being produced. Additionally, you will also have access to the subscriber-only chat. Some of the other streams are also set up as 1080p only, and as a result of that, you will not be able to watch the 1080p without a subscriber. So guys, best money you'll ever spend. It's only 10 bucks. Get on over there. Get yourself that subscriber status.
Yeah, definitely. It's not very much money, and support something that you know you're enjoying. It's a whole weekend. It'll actually save you some money if you're not going to do something else, if you think about it that way. But on to this game, Nathanais has changed up his build a little bit from what he did last time. He's going for barracks and then gas. So he's going to make a actually, this is a little bit interesting. Barracks, gas, and he puts a reactor first, and then makes Reaper and a Marine. So he's going to chase off this probe, put a bunker up, and then, yeah, that's very interesting. He's putting a bunker up so that he can just be as safe as possible. He's also put an engineering bay at the natural of his opponent, so the Protoss can't fast expand without dealing with that first. That's very interesting. That's something that we see Flash in particular do quite a bit, but not so much in the foreign scene.
Yeah, it's a really cheeky maneuver. I actually like this. I do this to Zerg all the time. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. It slows things down quite a bit for your opponent. It ties them up. It kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what they have as far as military, because now he knows that the Mothership Corps is going to come over and help out. Now the question is whether or not he gets to cancel on it in time. He's going to keep it up as long as humanly possible in order to do precisely that. Reaper is going to get a lot of scouting information as well while it's inside the base. This is not a hi, I would like to kill all your workers, Reaper. It is your I want to do scout your entire base. But he has seen that this is canceled, Nexus goes down, so I'm sure that Nathanais has gotten a lot of intel out of this. Taking a look back at his base, he does have the CC going down. Well, obviously a lot later than last game. Last game he threw it down CC first. I guess he didn't like how it was rewarded because he did have to handle a lot of defense very early in that matchup. Now he's got a good sizable amount of Marines. He's going to progress out into his natural, throw down a bunker so he's feeling a little bit more safe. He does have a factory to follow this up. Now he does have the reactor down on the barracks, so he could switch this up. And this is throwing down a, we'll see if he's going to throw down an armory shortly. Maybe he's going to go for Hellbat drops. They are very powerful. They do roast probes really, really well. So this may be a ploy that he's going with. Certainly Hellions can do some scouting information. This is something that I've been taught during my lessons with Theognis. And throwing down a couple of Hellions is going to be very, very good. But at the same token, this is more traditional of going with like a Hellbat play. And indeed, there is the armory in the back of the base. So we're going to see Hellbat drops, I think.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be Hellbat drops, but Shew seems to know what's up. He's adding a photon cannon in his main base. That's not something that you usually see blind. Usually, you see that after as a reaction to what your opponent is doing. But he doesn't. Shew doesn't actually know very much. This may just be, I'm the losers. I really want to make sure I'm not eliminated. I'm going to play safe and put a cannon here at this time, just as a kind of a catch-all defense, and that's totally a reasonable thing to say. However, now he should know a little bit more, as he knows that there's a starport up, because you got a hallucinate Phoenix in there. That's very nice. And the natural for Nathanais is just now landing. The natural for Shew is up and running, and he's getting the gases saturated now. Shew is on one forge and a robo. He's making observers first before going into any kind of unit production. He's actually 3 observers first. That's very cool. That's usually you'd see it closer to 1 or even 2, but 3 is pretty abnormal. And Nathanais is adding on some missile turrets just to stay safe, because again, he doesn't know what's going to come his way because he hasn't had the best opportunity to scout yet. And this drop that Nathanais has going on, this Hellbat drop, this is going to help him scout as well as put on pressure.
Yep, and it looks like this observer is moving out to intercept. Well, at least at the very least, it's going to give it a bit of forewarning, so then that way Shew is going to be able to defend. I like Hellbat drops. They are very, very good. It's just a matter of, can you get it in, can you get it in cleanly, and get it out? I mean, I'm sure that this photon cannon that's in the main is not going to help things at all. There's a mothership core very nearby. She's able to assist as well. I think this is going to get seen, though. Yes, it does. It is briefly on the radar and then off again. Is this going to get reacted? There's an Immortal in position as well to help shut down any of this. Okay, and the afterburners are on. There's going to be a drop indeed. And there they go. And now, are they going to focus down? Yes, indeed. They are going to get manhandled by Nathanais. He is going to work away at trying to get as many shots off on as many of these workers as possible. He is in the not-so-friendly guys. Throws on a photon overcharge to protect the Nexus. Going to get a quick pickup and take off, but the Stalkers do shoot it down. One of the Hellbats does get out, but unfortunately is going to check on out underneath the combined fire of the Stalkers and the Zealot.
Yeah, and let's take a look at the workers post the Hellbat drop, and now they're dead even on workers, but with Terrence having mules, that does skew it a little bit in his favor. He's adding on. Ooh, Nathanais is going mech. Look at that. There are 4 factories in his base.
Oh yeah, I love this actually.
Not common.
No,
yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, this is not a common thing. You're absolutely right. This is a new build I've been seeing pop up on Team Liquid actually a lot lately, is switching to mech against Protoss, and it is unbelievably powerful right now. It does a lot of damage and incurs very little when doing so. What are your thoughts of mech and TVP right now as it sits?
Well, so mech and TVP isn't something I have so much experience with, and one of the reasons for that is that it's not very common. Bio has just been your go-to thing for so long, and TVP that's what you see for the majority of the games. But over in WCS EU, Strelok had great success with TVP by just doing mech timing after mech timing after mech timing in most of his games. Excuse me. It really worked out quite well for him. So it's having a little bit of a resurgence. I don't know if it can hold up to straight up standard, very, very common macro play. In that, I don't know if the mech player is macroing and the Protoss player is macroing up, and they meet in the late game and it goes long. I don't know if mech can hold up versus all of the options that Protoss has. And Shew knows what's up. He's got 5 Immortals with his army, and this can be dangerous for him. But I'm interested to see how this goes. This should be very enlightening.
Yeah, well, certainly this could bode well. If these siege tanks can get sieged up very well, good force fields tying things up, and there's a lot of Hellbats caught out of position here. Hellbats do well against Immortals because they do shoot light and they don't do a huge amount of immediate hits, but more specifically, splash damage is very beneficial. The problem here is Nathanais is unable to keep his military together. The force fields are cutting everything up, and once all this energy is done, I don't think... Well, there's a lot of sentries in this mix. This is basically almost an Immortal sentry hall, and there's just so many Immortals, there's virtually nothing else. However, that being said, One of his tanks is going to get sniped. Another one does get shut down as well. And Shew defending this unbelievably well, while Nathanais is continuing to try and push on forward. I've been playing with mech against TVP in my ladder matches, and certainly I don't play at a pro level, but at the same time, it has been showing me a great deal of success. I almost never lose when I play mech. But that being said, I'm noticing that these force fields are really shutting this down because of the fact that Nathanais is not able to get the Hellbats onto target. He's basically chopping the Hellbats either in half, or he's just shutting them down completely, so they're unable to advance. And this is stopping Nathanais. But that being said, Nathanais has an unbelievably good siege outline outside of this natural. And this is going to slow things down quite a bit. There's also the scouting barracks as it's going to fly on back and provide high ground vision for this force. There's even a bunker going down at the bottom of the ramp. Nathanais is pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, this is very cool. Here's a little bit of an engagement. Oh my goodness, all of those Hellbats get stuck on one side of the force field, and they get just absolutely massacred by so many Immortals. That's 9 Immortals. Oh my gosh, that is so many. He's basically said, I don't need gateway units. I've got Immortals. It's fine. But Nathanais is not broken by any means. That is a pretty strong defensive line. He's pushing up a little bit. I'm not sure I like this play because I'm not sure that he has the ability to break Shew, but he is pushing up a little bit and wants to start shelling his opponent's army and structures.
Yep, absolutely. And with all of these siege tanks in position, there's going to be a very hard time for Shew to be able to advance out. But instead, he's going to go around the easy way, I guess you could say. There's nothing there. He's going to head on out, and he does have a small strike force that did get mopped up inside the main. And yeah, it's looking kind of interesting. The photon overcharge does go down outside of the natural, and in the natural, and a lot of units get cleaned up. Meanwhile, that force that did make it outside the left side is flanking these tanks and these Hellbats, and they just got pulverized.
Yeah, that was murder. That was somebody's in a kind of a dark alleyway, and somebody sneaks up behind him. In this case, that somebody is Shew. Shew sneaks up behind poor Nathanais in the dark alleyway. Nathanais has no idea what's coming, and Shew just shanks him in the back. That's what that was. That was absolutely brutal. Although, yeah, Stalkers running up the ramp is not going to be so great against Nathanais because siege tanks actually do very well against Stalkers. But now, here we go. So many Immortals with Hardened Shields dealing against so many siege tanks. This is going to work great for Shew. He's going to just clean this up, and this is going to bring up the series to a quick 2-0. I just can't see Nathanais going back to this.
No, there's nothing much left. He just pulled all his workers off his natural. He's on 2 bases. Yeah, that's it. GG, well played. Good luck. And Nathanais is unfortunately eliminated out of this tournament. I have to say it's unfortunate to ever see any person. I mean, the reality is somebody has to lose, and there has to be a victor. It's unfortunate though. Losers bracket. He is going to fall out of the tournament, and Shew is going to advance into round 3 of the losers bracket. Coming up next, looks like we have Sasquatch versus Puppylisk. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back in just a minute and get that going on for you guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Major League Gaming out of the Spring Championships out of Anaheim, California. My name is Nightshade.
And I'm Jojo, and we'll be seeing you back here real quick.
Thank you.